Right, welcome back. Now, police are cracking down on cash-in-transit heists. Police Minister Bheki Cele says there's been a 36% drop in the number of cash-in-transit heists compared to the same period in 2017 as a result of their stabilisation program. He was speaking at a media briefing today and says his officers are beginning to win the war against violent criminals. He says more than 200 suspects have been held in connection with these heists, and 78 firearms, 1,400 rounds of ammunition have been seized during arrests. 92 vehicles and a substantial amount of money has been recovered. He joins us now from our Cape Town studios to explain what's going on. Minister, good evening to you and thank you for talking to us this evening. A 36% decline in cash-in-transit heists between April and November. What, 118 this year compared to 184 last year? That's still nearly 20 a month. Surely that's still too high, even though the drop is welcome.
Indeed, good evening, Bongani. Is not good enough. We would have loved to have zero as the time goes on, but he tells you the story that we have started to move towards the right direction. But have we arrived there we want to be? Not yet.
I suppose the question then will be that you're making these arrests, but are you getting any closer to smashing the syndicates, really getting to the kingpins? Because you can arrest the foot soldiers all you want, there will be others queuing up to take their places.
Well, I think somebody asked that question this morning. The problem is, even if I give the name, Bongani, would you know how high that guy is in the hierarchy? We do know them. For instance, there is one guy that got bail, I think, 2 years ago, was involved in the cash heist with the shooting with the police. He got the bail, and then for last 2 years he has been involved in 23 other cash heists. For us, that's a top guy. He has been running quite several, not just one unit, several of his gangs around. We arrested him about 3 months in Free State. So as a top guy, we have put him on number one. If you look at our hierarchy, we think we have guys up to top 15. But if I tell you and give you those names, they might be meaningless to you because you don't know, and you don't know how to we categorize them to put them at that kind of level. But yes, we believe we have top guys in our hands. There are two basic problems, though the first one is much better, the bail issue. The second one is the fact that those that were arrested in the 80s, early 90s are getting released from prison. They have done their time. As they come back more graduated, and either they get involved or they create a new group.
Minister, it may be meaningless to me. The point is it should be meaningless. It should be meaningful to you. It is about making sure that it's not just reacting to these crimes when they happen, but there's intelligence gathering and that all law enforcement agencies are working together. Not too long ago, the perception was a number of law enforcement agencies were at loggerheads fighting each other for political considerations and not the criminals, and that's how we got here, isn't it?
Well, that's how we got here, but I think we have moved away. For last 4 weeks, almost Fridays, I don't know why Fridays only, maybe somebody can tell us, we have been finding these gangs in the base as they plan. The first group, we found them in mid-range. There were 12 there with 6 highly luxurious cars with quite several firearms and ammunition. We have found those 2 in Mahikeng, Brits, and the very last Friday we found them at Katlehong, 7 of them. That tells you that maybe now the crime intelligence they're doing the job that they're supposed to do, get away in political space and do the job that they're supposed to do. I think, though we're not there, but we are going towards that direction.
Of course, it can't help that the National Commissioner, Sithole, has admitted that, in fact, a number of officers have been fingered as being involved in these heists. Not only SAPs, but also Metro police officers. What, 23 arrested so far? That's surely a shocking number.
As the President will shout to all of us to work on the corruption matter, unfortunately for the police, that the front line is easy to see that they are corrupt. Some of them, I would like to qualify that, But the big number, the big portion of South African police are good women and men in blue, and we have the very few. Unfortunately, they become prominent. But Bongani, it's not just the police. In the whole chain, maybe that's why the president has put the SIU guys to work on the office of the Attorney General, yes, Attorney General, for the very fact that there is a lot of corruption going on there. The collusion with the criminals, the collusion with the people working with the criminals to take the money from state, make sure that they work on the cases that are not there to charge the state instead of taking the criminals in. About 80 billion rands has been taken, has lost out of the system because there is a cooperation between criminals and the attorneys in the office of the Attorney General. Right. So the corruption, it doesn't end there, it's much broad, but what we need to do with the South African police, we all know there is IPID that is working on the matter, and there are police themselves that are arresting their own and put them in.
Minister, let me ask you, when you say a substantial amount of money has been recovered, can you give us a figure?
Well, maybe it has not been put together, Bongani, because we get it in different areas. Though some of the money gets really messed up as these guys, they blast and all that. But the money that we have found is several millions of money. That would be beyond 10 million, I guess, will be a substantial amount of money, because some of this money really gets messed up as they blast and bomb these cars themselves.
Look, I mean, obviously 10 million rand is a lot of money to most people, but we also know that literally billions are being transported in this way throughout the country every single day. This has proved to be a lucrative crime for those who are involved in it. The numbers need to be clearer than that so we can have a sense of assessing your success in dealing with this.
Well, maybe putting the money together and giving those figures will be fine. We are very happy about the number of the people we have arrested. 230 of them top guy that we have arrested. We put them. Remember, these guys, we have arrested them in a short space of time, and we are happy. We have found a lot of guns. We have found a lot of stolen or hijacked cars and all that. Yes, we'd love to find the money back, but to us, the human beings that do these things, to us, they give us more value than the money at the present time.
Right, festive season usually means there's going to be a spike. That's around the corner. Are you prepared?
We have no business not to prepare, and we are really working hard around the clock to work on these matters. And that's why our multi-approach, multidisciplinary teams are put there. Not just the police alone. The crime intelligence, your hawks are all together, sometimes working with the prosecutors so that we see that our cases are tight and all that kind of stuff. So invite all other responsible and all other sister departments to work together to make sure that we are prepared. We are prepared. We have launched our safe season called Operation Quiet Storm. People are asking if there is a quiet storm. Yes, there is a quiet storm. So we will be working on it. We want to make sure that people, they go to malls, they shop in peace, they make their groceries in peace. But those that they go around the highways, we stop the crime on highways, a lot of crime on highways. So we are prepared. We're not going to tell everything here, but there will be a serious rollout to make sure that South Africans are safe and feel safe.
All right, Minister of Police Bheki Cele, we thank you for your time talking to us from our Cape Town studio. He says the police are winning the war against criminal syndicates involved in cash-in-transit heists. Is it just about arrests, or is it about the entire value chain of how this system works? Is it not important to you that the money isn't very clear in terms of the figures that he gave us there? Give us your opinion, your response. #FullView on Twitter. Stay with us. We've got more after this.